Okay, namaste. So today I thought I would teach you how to do the headstand. So headstand is considered to be an advanced posture. It's important that you respect the headstand and that you very carefully follow instructions or get a guru or a teacher or someone to show you how. But I'm going to show you how to do the headstand, and if you haven't done it before, then practice with a friend. Headstand is just so beneficial for so many reasons, and the reason that I've decided to talk to you about it today is because it's fantastic for the immune system. Iyengar has a little sequence that goes for about, as long as you want it to go for, half an hour, depending how long you hold the postures for. But all of them are upside down, and so that seemed really counterintuitive to me the first time that I saw that. But by being upside down, you're actually enhancing the immune system. So really good for any kind of, coughs, colds, flus, which is what we're concerned about. So if you do a practice of headstand on a regular basis, it really helps to improve your immunity. Now, when you think about it, when you do a headstand, obviously you're upside down, you're on your head. So the blood goes to the head, and the blood comes away from the feet. So if you have any problem with swelling around the ankles, knees, legs, then that will help with that. And also you need to consider that, our heart is here. So the heart is pumping blood from the top part of the body to the bottom part of the body. So it's important to try and get upside down in some way every day in order to give the heart a rest, and also for any kind of stagnant blood that might be pooling a bit to have a chance to get back to the heart and recirculate. When we do headstand, we find that we get this real clarity of mind, like the mind chatter stops. It's incredible how calm it makes you feel. In Western mysticism, the tarot card of the Hanged Man most closely correlates to what is called in the Eastern tradition Salamba Sirsasana, which is the headstand. So the Hanged Man is all about getting a new perspective on life. So when we're upside down, we get a different perspective. So for example, something might be going round and round in your head, and you're like, run, and it won't stop, and it's really annoying. And then you do headstand and you go into a peaceful state straight away. And then maybe the answer to that question comes, or you get a thought, or you get a spark of intuition, or I must read that book, or talk to that person. But it doesn't interfere and keep going and going and going. You just get that thought. So it's very, very good for that as well. Okay, now what's important with headstand is where you place your weight on your head. I have seen some students where they put the weight on their forehead. Oh, that's horrifying. As soon as I see that, I run over there and say, get out of the pose. Because if you got your weight on your forehead, your neck is curved like this. You always want to have your neck in alignment with your spine. So, please don't do that. Now, in order to know where on the head, there's different ways to measure it. So some people, they put like 2 sets of 4 fingers and then the other 2 on top of the head, and that's the point on the top of the head, the crown of the head. Some people get the tops of the ears and then they find where the fingers meet on the top of the head, and that's the point. And some people get the heel of their hand and then they measure like this, and where the finger touches, this is the point. Always before doing headstand, I always find where that point is and just give it a bit of a rub to remind myself. When we're doing headstand, it's very important that the elbows do not come out. So you want to have the elbows in alignment with the shoulders. In order to do a good headstand, you really want to have a good opening through what we call the armpit chest, so through where the arm and the chest meet. Okay, let's stop talking and let's start doing. So there are 4 different postures basically to walk into the headstand. Now, when you're coming into the headstand, so it's like doing the downward dog, but you're on your forearms. So when you're coming into the headstand, you just keep walking the feet in until you feel really light. And at that spot, you'll find it's really quite natural and progressive that you can get your feet up into the air. Now what's important is that you always press the wrists down onto the ground and the forearms. So you're actually working the pose. You've not just got arms there and you've got all your weight in your head, you're actually working the whole time. And the other thing is too that with the legs, you want to be rolling the thighs in. So you're rolling the thighs in and you have your ankles together so the ankles are touching, and you've got energy coming from the inner ankles up to the tops of the thighs, and then the energy comes to the outside of the thighs and the outside of the legs. So you keep thinking about that and pressing the hips in at the side. So there's, as you go, there's just more and more little things you can add to get a better and better headstand. So let's get started. So first of all, you grab your mat and you fold it into 3, like that, and that's all set up for me. And now, so interlace your fingers like this, and your thumbs are either touching or crossing depending on the nature of your hands. And then you bring the interlaced hands on the back of the head, and see how my shoulder and elbow are in a line. So I'm not, if I'm trying to do a headstand and my arm comes out like that, I'll lose control. And if it's this way, it'll impinge on the chest. So we want to always be bringing the dorsal spine in. So hands like this, and then you can see this is what your hands look like. Okay, so then I measure by just holding my elbows like that. Bring my hands to that same position I just saw before, and then I bring the top of the head in between the hands, and then I lift up just like the downward dog, and I just walk my feet in. So here I'm starting to feel quite light, so I'll just lift one foot, the other. So that's 1, 2, 3, knees come to the sky, and then 4, straightening up through the legs. So it's really just gets quite easy after a while. So pulling the belly in, pressing through the wrists, and then bring the shoulders away from the ears, and then bring those, usually my feet tend to swing forward, so bring my feet back, pressing the ankles together, lifting up through the tops of the legs. Okay, good. And then when you're ready to come down, you just bring your buttocks back a bit as you bring your feet down with control. Whee! Okay, and then in this spot, just wait in child's pose for a little. And posture is complete. So, how long to do it for? It's recommended 5 minutes, so you just build up to that. I just put my phone with the timer, and after a while you just get to know when that 5 minutes is anyway. You can do different things with the legs and feet if you like, but yeah, have fun with that. You'll love it. Get a different perspective on life and keep yourself healthy and well regardless of what anyone else is doing around you.